What's up? It's your favorite lawyer. Okay, guys, today we are going to discuss addressing the judge, addressing the court. We call it addressing the court because whenever your case is being heard, it is before the court. And so the judge is the court. There are different ways that something can be before the court. It can be before the court with a judge trial or a judge hearing, and then the judge is the court. Or it can be before the court with a jury trial. Okay, and then the jury and the judge are the court. Okay. So a lot of the times before attorneys or people speak, sometimes they'll say, may it please the court. And so may it please the court means, you know, I'd be obliged to speak. Can I please speak? And the court will allow you to, and then you can move forward with whatever you're getting ready to say. Normally, may it please the court is said before I argue a case. Is when I use that, not necessarily in trial, but just like in opening and closing when I'm arguing, or if I'm arguing a motion or a brief, that's when I'll say that. And people have to understand that a court is very formal when it comes down to speech and verbiage. Things are changing a lot with courts. Court is looking different nowadays due to COVID and other technological advances that are having a bearing on the way the cases are heard. However, speaking to a judge remains formal, and that's not going to change. Okay. And so we have to know how to address the court because the way that we address the court has a huge bearing on how the court looks at us and perceives us, right? Credibility is one thing, but you also want to be perceived in a good light. If you're in front of the judge, if the judge is the fact finder or if the jury is the fact finder, you want to look like you know what you're doing and you're paying respect to everyone. So that you have to address people properly. Okay. So one thing, if you're going to argue your case, it's going to be, may it please the court. And then you will wait for the court to grant you the right to speak, and you will then move forward in your argument and or your layman's terms speech. Okay. Another thing is, guys, and especially this is for the African. I say diaspora, it's diaspora. Some people, but I'm from Texas, and so we say voir dire, and it's voir dire. Is the more formal way to say it. But so you'll have to excuse my French, my Southern French, my twang. But the African diaspora, we should all know that in the South and in many of the courts, slavery and the institutionalization thereof plays a huge part in the way that we must address judges with respect to their color and what is respect. Okay, it's almost like that Aunt Jemima pancake box, blackface, and etc. You have to address the court in the right manner. Here in the South, I've had to learn how to refrain away from saying yes, ma'am, when I'm speaking to a judge. Not on its face, and some judges don't necessarily feel that way, but a lot of judges, okay, don't like to be ma'amed. They hate to be ma'amed. Black judges do not like to be ma'amed. Okay. And if you want to be rude and disrespectful, ma'am them. They may not say anything to you, but they have taught me in their cadence. And closer friends have also taught me their cadence when they respond to ma'am will kind of show you that it's a little bit uncomfortable or frowned upon, or they may not like it, even though they may not say anything to you, they may not hold it against you. It just may be something personally that they don't like. Ma'am has a truly kind of a negative connotation with respect to us, you know. And it's just don't ma'am a black judge, especially down here in the South. I try not to do it. I will forget myself, and I have to remind myself, do not ma'am people. Just don't do it. Mainly black judges, don't ma'am them. Okay. It's yes, yes, Your Honor. Is the way that you address people, male and female. Sometimes it's yes, sir. Sometimes they'll tell you to say no, ma'am. But most black judges, you won't find them asking you to tell them ma'am. to call them ma'am. You won't find them asking you that. Okay. And it's just the connotation behind it. They are where they are. It took them a lot to get where they are, and they just don't want any sort of shade cast upon their title. So it's yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. And if I slip up and say ma'am, it's normally after Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor, yes, ma'am. And I'll have to catch myself. But we're not gonna ma'am the judges. Me too, me myself included. Okay. Myself included. And so when you're speaking to a male judge, of course, it's yes, sir, Your Honor. Yes, sir, Your Honor. Um, you always want to use Your Honor in there. Okay. All right. When people get a title, and I'm sure it's like that in the military and other things, it's kind of the same way in court. When you have inferior and um, superior positions, you respect those who are of a superior position if you are inferior in rank. And that's a way that you respect them and the title that they hold by saying Your Honor. A lot of people like yes, sir, no, sir. But anybody can be a sir. But not it's Your Honor is a huge, that's a big deal. Okay. It's almost akin to being a sergeant, well, general, a colonel. They want to be addressed accordingly, and so you should address a judge accordingly. Always use Your Honor, guys. Always use Your Honor, and never say yes or no. That is a very rude way to speak to a judge. It shows them that you're not giving them respect because you don't put anything behind the yes and the no. Always put something behind yes and no. Always proceed your sentences with Your Honor and then go. The formality of it all will buy you a lot of respect, which will buy you grace and mercy a lot of the times in your case. Because they can genuinely see that you're trying, that you're being respectful, you respect the court, you respect what they stand for. Um, and that's always a good way to deal with the court. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. Don't forget to add me on Instagram, she_ya_lawyer. And that's about it. This is your attorney, Allie Booker, your favorite lawyer. And I'm checking out. Y'all have a fantastic day. Alrighty. Bye.